Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Weekends here on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty.
I'm pointing, Kyle, where it says now. Please mention in this order, as you're giving me a hard time last time, FM 96.1 North County, AM 1170.
Come on, Kyle. It's right there in
San
front of me
Diego,
on the mic.
The Answer. There you go.
All right. Facebook, if you're watching.
Yeah, this is what they've given us.
You are listening to Whissel Weekends. AM 1170. The Answer. Now you can be heard on 96.1 in North County or AM 1170 in San Diego County.
Good job.
We can now proceed.
Yeah, we can proceed.
I can proceed.
I know
Thanks
it's
for
our
that, Jason.
show. They kind of let us do what we want, and that's kind of been the nice thing for 4.5 years. But, I love to tease you since you love to tease me and everybody. And
At least I mentioned it. You didn't even mention it.
You know what? I didn't even realize. You know me. I'm stuck, my head down. I'm doing loans, getting them done. Finally got some loans done.
Is that what you do, Jason?
Last week.
Oh,
That's
you're a
what I
lender?
do.
You're a lender?
Sometimes you're buried.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless
What's the name of
plug.
that company you work with?
Yeah, Team Home Loans.
There you go,
There
right.
you go.
All right, guys. So let's dive into this. I had, on Facebook, every day it tells you like what post you put up the year prior on that same day or multiple years prior. And I had it pull up the other day, and I had written a post 8 years ago, and I said, I can't wait for the day when cars have autopilot.
And you got it.
And now I actually have a car that has autopilot, which is so crazy.
That's crazy.
If you guys have never driven in a Tesla, or some of the other cars are coming out with autopilot stuff now too. I mean, it's pretty crazy. You get in, hit the button, and it just goes. It locks in your speed. If you get too close to a car, it slows you down. It can change lanes. It goes around curves. It can do most on
Now,
and
how long
off
have you
ramps.
had your Tesla?
Like
and
6 months now.
And you literally can just put your head down?
No,
doesn't take a nap?
never. I follow all of the safety instructions provided by Tesla.
Because that's what I'm asking. I'm like, if you have one, why would you? I don't know. I just like
So
having
you
control of the
still
vehicle.
have to keep a hand on the wheel. They want to make sure you're still awake. They don't want you taking a nap,
Okay.
just putting it in autopilot and going to sleep.
So you just can't get in the back seat and go to sleep.
No, I mean, if you got a long enough arm and you fall asleep with your arm on the steering wheel, you might be
So
okay.
as long as your hand's on the wheel,
yes.
it will just drive
Yes.
for you.
Yes, sir.
It just seems odd to me.
What if you had somebody else's hand on the wheel?
I
Any
don't think
hand, apparently.
it's recognizing fingerprints.
Okay.
It just wants a hand on the wheel to
Okay.
know that somebody's awake, paying
You
attention.
can put a weighted glove on there.
I'm not going to
there's-
say I ever have, but there's people who have figured out some workarounds for
Wow.
simulating a hand
and I'm
on
guessing
the
that's
wheel.
because of insurance.
Oh, look at Jason just
man,
coming in with the segues today.
Somebody ate his Wheaties this morning.
Yeah. So, Phil, I want to know from an insurance perspective, how are things changing? I mean, there's cars that are literally driving themselves. What is that doing to the auto insurance industry?
Well, and this is only my opinion, obviously. I'm not speaking on behalf of any of the large insurance companies or anything else like that. But I will tell you something that we've seen trend in auto insurance over the years, and that is distracted driving. It is a huge problem in California. So many people are getting hit from the rear and everything else like that. So that's a number one concern. The other thing, when we talk about self-driving cars, what do we know about self-driving cars? They've all had accidents, haven't they? Okay, so the risk as far as having a self-driven car today is similar to a car that you're driving by yourself, because it's easily overridden. There's nothing that's going to make it do or behave in a certain way. We all have radars in the car that will stop you from tailgating and or hitting the car in front of you, or at least audibly sound an alarm so you don't smash into the back of them when your head is buried in your phone. But in reality, in California, and this is again just my opinion, I can't see us as Californians and drivers ever saying that I don't ever want to drive again. I just want to hop in my car, put in a GPS coordinates or an address, and never touch the wheel.
But we're a different generation.
Right.
Like you and I, we have to.
Yeah.
But Kyle, and now Kyle's daughter, he's been talking to people they don't believe we'll be driving in 10 or 20 years.
I hear
When
the
my
same
daughter
thing.
is
Yeah.
16, and 14 more years from now, she will not be driving a car.
Yeah.
I promise you. She
Yeah.
will not get in a seat and grab a steering wheel. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Will she get in a car? Yes. Will the car drive? Yes. But will she be holding a steering wheel when it happens? No way.
Yeah, you know who?
There's
Mr.
not a
Hall will still be
chance.
driving.
Not a chance.
Well,
that's
that's
that's just me.
That's an interesting point, because if you think about the infrastructure that's going to have to be in place to adequately put a system like that in place, where every car, it's just guaranteed when you get into a car, regardless of how fast you're going, You're not going to have a collision. It's always going to be safe. But then again, you look at the California driver, traffic, mountains, wanting to get out on the open road and do a little bit of speeding, or do whatever you want to do. It's that independence. I don't know as far as, and I think age has a lot to do with it. You're right. We are in that age group where I'm not ready to give that up. Though it would be certainly nice to, when I head up to LA or Orange County for a meeting, to have my laptop there and be able to knock out about 50 emails while I'm driving and not ever have to look up.
Right.
I just don't think we're there yet, but we are certainly heading there.
We're heading that way whether we like it or not. But I know for you, and I think I could speak for Keith, it was freedom to be 16 and get your driver's license and get a car.
Couldn't wait.
Sure.
You couldn't wait, right? We could just get in a car, go where we want to go, do what we want to do. And Kyle's just grinning, right? Like, he had a little bit of that, but you're clearly not the same as the three of us.
But in our generation and in all of our business and all of our careers, even at our ages and versus the millennials.
Don't put yourself in the bucket with Jason. I mean, don't
he's
don't
right
do
there.
that
He's
to
right
yourself,
there.
Keith.
Okay,
He's right there.
yeah. You guys on that side and us
Yeah,
millennials over here.
Yeah.
It's just in the busyness of our careers. I find myself, as I get older, I get busier. I'm texting more often. More phone calls are coming in. It's just the demands of life, whether we want to or not,
It's shifting.
are moving us in that direction where we're looking for time-saving factors. And if autonomous cars is an area where we're going to be able to save some time, I think whether we like it or not, we may just find ourselves there in one of those cars.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we do fly, and that's what people say. I mean, that's basically what you're doing. I mean, you're putting your life in some guy's hand or a few guys and gals' hands.
Or a computer's hand.
Right, or a computer.
Yeah.
And we just jump in and just, we have
trust
zero,
that it's going to get
trust
you
it's
from
gonna
point
get
A
there.
to point B.
And that's where it's heading, right? It's going to be the similar thing with these cars. But I still have not driven in one, and it's going to be tough for me to give up control. You know that. Kyle's
Hey, if
grinning.
you're a really
He
nice
knows
guy, I know
that.
somebody who has one might let you drive it.
Yeah,
Or might let you ride in it because technically you're not going to be
he hasn't
driving
let
it.
me ride in it yet. Here we've been friends all these years.
We'll Facebook Live you driving my car on autopilot because you're going to freak the heck out.
I will freak out. I'll be like, I don't know if I'll be Rosie. I might be worse than Rosie. I've seen Rosie.
We'll go on like some nice windy roads and stuff too, where it makes it even more scary.
Oh wow, that
Yeah.
would be. How about coming back down the end of Palm? When you drop in La Quinta, Palm Springs area.
Oh, yeah.
Off that 79, where it's just that complete wind all the way down.
I don't
Sounds
know
like
if
a
I could
date.
do that. That would be fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
give
we'll
it a shot. There's only one way to find out. You just got to do it.
Jump in the car and go.
Yeah, otherwise, I mean, it's a safe car, so if it rolls down the hill, it's safe.
Like Kyle's texting in the back seat. We test drove the Volt before I bought the Volt, and Kyle jumped in the back seat. I go, "What are you doing getting in the back seat?" Kyle goes, "I do not drive a car I can't get in the back seat." I go, "I've never been in the back seat of any of my cars." Kyle goes, "I have somebody drive me home. If I go out, I want to make sure I can get in the back seat."
Yeah, I'm very good. If I go out and I have a fun night and have some
Yeah.
cocktails, I'm not driving myself home. Somebody's
You're
going to drive
smart.
my car home, and I want to be able to fit in the back
Yeah.
seat of my own car.
Yeah, so he looked at himself and said, "Sorry, I can't buy this car. I can't get in the back seat."
Yeah.
The guy goes, "No one's ever told me that," but that's a very smart, thinking. So just wanted.
But
to
now
point
I
that
just
out.
Uber, and the Uber drives me home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We didn't know what Uber was back then.
Yeah. But see, there's driverless Ubers in multiple states already. It already exists.
Wow.
It does. I think that's in Pennsylvania, and I'm going there soon. So when I go there, I will
You might
ride
get-
in one of those, and I will take a video for you
Yeah.
so you
Facebook
can
Live
see
it.
what it's like. Because it's
Nice.
already there. It already exists. It's just not swept the nation
Tom's
yet.
looking at me like, this is his generation. They've done all this to me. That's why I feel like, Tom, it's all your fault. It's all your generation.
I love it. Again, you're listening to Whissel Weekends, AM 1170, The Answer, also FM 96.1. So other questions, the accidents. I talked to a buddy who runs a body shop, and he's said that there's less accidents, and I think this plays into what you were saying, but the severity of accidents is much higher. So the reason there would be less is because of some of the automation in cars that force them to stop, the collision, prevention stuff. But the distracted driving causes the accidents that do happen to be worse because there's not as many of the fender benders, quote unquote. There's the person plowing into the car in front of them at 50 miles an hour because they were texting and didn't see that they stopped.
Yeah, that's a good point. But there's something to consider when you're thinking about that too, Keith. Is that as you lay out the price of claims, the frequency and severity of auto insurance claims, you're looking at 15 years ago, if somebody tapped you and you needed to get a bumper replaced, it'd be a $600-700 fix. Okay. The bumper on your Tesla is going to run you about $4,500 because of the radars, because of the sensors and everything else that's in there.
That's amazing.
So the frequency and severity of claims, they may have shifted as far as which one's higher, but the cost to repair today's automobile is far higher than it was 10 or 15 years ago. And that's what insurance companies are struggling with, because the premium volume isn't there yet. You know, it's not a quick answer to say, oops, we're negative this year, let's raise rates, let's raise rates. I mean, the consumer thinks we do that, or the industry does that in whole, but that's really not the way it is. It's a couple of years before you can get a price increase. So, you know, if the frequency and severity may have shifted as far as the percentages on each side, but I do know for a fact that the cost to repair an automobile is much higher than it used to be.
Yeah, I know this. The cars are made to take on the inertia of the other vehicle hitting it. Where, 60s and 70s cars, man, you could hit that thing at 50 miles an hour and there barely was a dent. Right? All that inertia went into the passengers and the driver of the car, and therefore caused more damage to them. And so that's the technology we've seen with cars. Is it's amazing. These cars just fold now. They're really made to take on that whole impact.
I mean, some cars, literally the motor intentionally drops out of the car when there's a strong enough impact.
Yeah.
Just so that the motor doesn't come into the
come through the
passenger
dashboard.
compartment. It literally just falls on the ground just to make it more safe. Yeah. It's crazy how much that's changed. I've seen some of the videos where they take like a 1960s Impala versus like a 2000, 16 Impala, and they just run them heads up. And you would think that the old Impala would just plow right through it, and it's not the case. It's really crazy to watch what happens.
Wow. So that's what you do with your free time, watch some of that YouTube video? On that stuff?
That's what we do. We don't watch TV, Jason. We watch YouTube.
I'm DVR.
Hey, Jason, what's TV? Tell us about that.
Yeah, tell me about your bunny ears.
Yeah.
What are those?
Hey, I did have to buddy ears or antennas when I was a kid to even get any channel. I got one channel, and I had to use those bunny ears.
Yeah, and it was probably the fuzzy channel. All right, guys, we are going to head to a break. If you want to get connected, learn more about insurance, you want to get a quote on your auto, your home, or anything out there, give us a call, shoot us a text. We'll get you connected, 619-663-7355, 619-663-SELL. We'll be right back on Whissel Weekends, AM 1170, The Answer, and FM 96.1.